What's up, guys? mainmanswe here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and welcome back to yet another Season 4 breakdown, and this time with one of my all-time favorite characters, Mr. Bryan Fury, who I consider to be the hardest character in the Tekken series, and he's always been very solid. Tekken 7 is no exception. And with Season 3, they sort of patched some of the holes in his gameplay. He's never had a dedicated 12-frame Punisher, for example, for block punish, and they gave him for free. That became a natural combo, and you were like, okay, does that wreck his identity? But more than that, a problem, in my opinion, was that Hatchet Kick got a ridiculous buff. It went from +4 to +5 on hit, and it got a damage increase from 21 to 23, so it got even chunkier. And it's like, in my opinion, he's not meant to have a strong 50-50. You should more rely on the taunt to open people up. But you know what? That's my opinion, and this is the direction we're going in. And they've kept this up somewhat. You will now see that the 4-3 is buffed yet again. The Hatchet Kick is buffed yet again. So, you know, opinions go towards all sides on this. But he's definitely been buffed. Bryan, he already was a solid character, but he's got buffs, and I like it. It's a character I like watching, and you'll see the pressure has gone up quite a bit. But let's take it one thing at a time, and let's just start with the new move, obviously. And his new move is the Snake Bite. 1+2, 1, so this is a secondary now option from the 1+2. You used to always be able to do Snake Pit. Natural combo for 36 damage, however, -14 on block. And now you have the Snake Pit. Also a natural combo, again, from his 1+2, which is such a powerful homing move. Safe at -7. Just a great move on its own. And I'm gonna mention straight away that they have improved the range on the 1+2. So again, it's not ridiculous range, but it does hit from pretty far away now. Although it seems to have trouble clipping Julia in her neutral stance. The range is going to look crazier on a character's neutral stance where the arm extends further. But it has improved range. Trust me on that one. So again, the Snake Bite, 32 damage +6. Natural combo mid-high, so you can duck the second hit. And you're gonna want to duck the second hit on block, because on block, it's a ridiculous -1. So you're pretty much back to neutral, and you can do whatever the hell you want. So the opponent has to duck the second hit. But this is obviously where you could be mixing up with the Snake Pit, and they get knocked down, 20 damage. If you're fast ducking and inputting a while standing launcher to punish your Snake Bite, and you counter hit, well, they just got launched. So this is a really cool mix-up for Bryan, and it certainly helps him build momentum. Is it locked or does it hit? And a cool mix-up. So the Snake Bite looks like a really cool addition to Bryan, to say the least. And then we have classic move, forward 3, has now much more positive advantage, much more plus frames on hit. It's gone from +1 to +4, but if you stand back a little bit, +6 or +5, depending on the range. So a huge buff to one of his key moves. And then down for 2-1, his go-to mid-check, elbow into left jab, is now a ridiculous +8, the second hit. Used to be +4, now +8. 8. That's a ridiculous frame advantage. And especially on this tool, his go-to mid-check. Mid-high, obviously, but this is where also he'll mix you up with a mid. That's how Bryan does it. And then, again, your standing 4, which we obviously use for 4-3, our 12-frame Punisher. It's got increased range. Range. Look at the range. So this is now a super consistent 12-frame Punisher. But what does this also mean? Yeah, his Magic 4 got more ridiculous. Well, I mean, it's never been one of the best Magic 4s, but this is obviously a huge buff. A huge buff. So quality of life way up with this buff on Bryan. And then let's go to the Hatchet Kick. What do we have now? On counter hit, different knockdown now on the opponent. You can still do the soccer kick, but what they've given you now, Bryan players, is this. Whap! 50 damage into crazy Oki. Just for this combo, they buffed the damage of both hits on this string. And they also gave it this double backflip. You know, room, super high juggle knockback. To set up great Oki for this combo. People will tech roll into a taunt, into whatever pressure you have coming for them. You know, or obviously they stay on the ground. What's that? Soccer kick. And I mean, if you delay that, they have her back towards you. Such a bad position so that you can basically launch them if they stand up. You'll hit them in the back. So again, hatchet kick. This used to be 45 damage. Now you'll get 50 and Oki. So, yeah, another huge buff to hatchet. Did he need it? I don't know. But you know what? I like Bryan. I like Bryan. Soccer kick has more range. Another quality of life buff. I mean, good in the neutral, but that's not really where we use it a lot. We use it in Oki. It's still not super consistent on the ground. Bryan players hate this, how inconsistent it is. It whiffs a lot on the ground. It is more consistent now, but you can still get awkward whiffs. Let's see. From this side, it's usually very awkward. You can still have this happening. But it is more consistent now. It is. And thank God for that. And then forward 4 used to be -10 on block. You used to be able to punish it with dick jab. But now it's -9 on block, so it's perfectly safe. Unless it's stuck, of course. The same change is on quarter circle back to 4. As you can see, -9 on block. Perfectly safe. And then down to 3. Sorry, the second hit here, the knee, has more range. You used to be able to get some pretty weird and inconsistent whiffs with this, so it has been fixed with added range. Nice. Ooh. And then, quite interesting, down 1+2 has seen some notable changes. It's a string you don't see too much. You can try and do some mix-ups with it. -10 there, but there's you can add a 3. But now you can actually cancel this into sidestep. Holding forward, sway, sidestep. Which is really nice. There was one sidestep variation before, now there are 2. And now you can actually... No, you always could do down 1+2 and cancel by pressing 2 into this overhead slam. That is now a ridiculous +7. It used to be +2. And that's a launcher. So they definitely want Bryan players to utilize down 1+2 more. So down 1+2, down 1+2 free, down 1+2 sidestep, down 1+2 into sway, down 1+2 2 cancel. Plus again, +7 on block. So again, they definitely want you playing around with those mix-ups. And then interesting is that the Gatling Rush, is now easier to do. They've made it easier to do. And it has less pushback. It used to whiff quite a bit in between the hits. But now it's very consistent, and again, easier to do. Although I'm still quite terrible at it. So those were the changes for Bryan. So some really nice buffs. I mean, especially hatchet kick on counter hit is huge. Magic 4 buff, 12 frame punish buff. Snake bite seems like a really cool tool. Forward 3, so much more frame advantage. Down 4-2-1, ridiculous frame advantage. Down 1+2 mix-ups. Forward 4-4 safe on block. Soccer kick, more range. You know, more consistent as an Oki tool. Yeah, it's definitely looking like a good season for Bryan players, and I can't wait to see Bryan utilized more. Mr. Naps is gonna do awesome stuff in tournaments. That's Jimmy from the US. And let's hope maybe even Nee picks up Bryan, or, well, maybe he'll just stick to tier whoring. We'll just see. So thanks so much for watching this breakdown, and take care, everyone.